What's up, everybody? That's a weird intro. No. Okay, what's up? What's up? Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Before we do get into the charts for the midweek recap, so this week's Fed data caught a lot of people off guard. A lot of people that weren't paying attention, I guess. So a week ago, the market was pricing in a 45% chance that the Fed hold rates steady in September. Today, that number's 60. And I'm going to show you exactly what flipped it and kind of what it means for SPY in between, now and then, or now in the next meeting. So that's what's going to give you. So I guess the shock value went from 45 to 60. Let's see. The CPI internals and AI earnings beats you already have queued naturally as here's what flipped payoff. Honestly, I did ask ChatGPT to help me out with the intro. It says, I got it right here. What it means for SPY between now and the next meeting. That gives you the number swing shock value up front without burying the lead in a slow market news windup. And it sets up the CPI internals and AI earnings beats you already have queued naturally as the what flipped it payoff. That's a very weird intro. But while everybody is chiming in, getting their notifications on, and getting in here today, we're gonna rock some of this. It's been a while since we opened up Ascended Heroes. This is just what we do on the live streams for the intro. Give everybody time to get in here. But more importantly, we do need to see if there is a red or a green card in here to kind of tell us where the cards feel the markets are going. Markets felt what? Red? It was the cards. They felt red. And we did get a red. A little baby red. And then the oracles, my daughters, they came in and said green. And we got both of that, red and green. I'll show you the charts in a little bit. We're sitting on basically a bull flag. The buy the dip crowd should probably show up right now. Spoiler alert. Unless we pull a $3,000 pack, then it's going to be crazy bullish. Now, the real question is, if you're in the chat, let me know, do I open until we get a red or a green card? It's going to be the last card. Or do I open all the packs that I just pulled out? There's some slippery cards. Ice cream cone, come on. Fighting gong. We got to get to the shiny ones. Noivern. All right, so we got Dratini action. That one. Rayquaza. Shiny energy. Okay, so this is the card we're looking for. I guess if we get a shiny green or a shiny red, we got a situation on our hands. I guess without that. Let me know in the chat, though, real quick. This better be green. Open it all. All right. Well, I mean, we I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We might be opening it all if we don't get a red or green. If we don't get a red or green, I guess it's just chop. I only got this box. I couldn't get any more because the chat was asking me if I was going to go live. They were very impatient. So I didn't have time to grab more packs for the stream. This is all we got. Roly Coly. I just noticed when my lights is off. That's why it looks a little dark in here. Look at that. Professional lighting. All right. Raboot. Mega for alligator. Okay, so we got blue. So far, we're rocking some zones. A little blue zone, yellow zone action. No big deal. Fur alligator. Like a furry alligator. Now, there is one of these packs. It's called a God pack, where every card in there is a hit. So that one single pack ends up being worth a few $1,000s if you just for the value of the cards. Anthea and Concordia. Basically a Democrat and a Republican. Am I allowed to say that? That probably made somebody mad. Only if your hair's dyed blue, green, or pink, though. Skitty. Fighting energy, so nothing there. How much of the audience did I just piss off with that? He's judging my political beliefs off the color of my hair. Depends on how short it is. Depends on what color it is. Yeah. Usually is. Telltale sign. No, I'm going to stop there. I really am. I'm just kidding. Does that not remind you of just like subs in a car? That thing's just rocking. Gold. My guy. We will have to look up the value of this card. I do need that one. And it's going to be a green market. Green market, green day. Oh, I needed this. That is my favorite. Get a little focus in on there. Come on. There we go. I do like that. Mewtwo and Venusaur are my favorite. Mainly because Mewtwo was born in a lab, and he basically said, F all the humans. We're going to do this my way. And that's basically my spirit animal. When I saw that as a movie when I was a kid, I was like, that's me. I agree with this thing. Get those humans. They don't need to be here. So that's a good hit. And a green. So all signs across the board point to a green market. So we're rocking. Especially if we double up. So what we're here now is we're going to do some zone action. We're in a zone right now. And it's going to be green after that. Last pack magic is what they call it. Let's see if we can get some last pack magic. And then we are going to jump into the charts. We did get a hit. This is a cool box. This is just sitting on my shelf for a while, collecting dust. That's what happens when you don't open all the stuff sitting on your shelves, right? You probably had all the magic sitting in there. Mega Embor. Oh. Well, this is awkward. Oh, boy. The downside to this is that is a shiny red. That's not just a normal red. Back to the market. So what I'm thinking now is we're gonna be green. Hang on. Let's get those cards back. So the markets are probably going to be green first, and then really red, shiny red. Oh, no. Listen, I don't make the rules. I don't. I'm sorry. But this is everyone's last chance to hopefully get their notifications because we're gonna jump in and see. Let's see what that card's worth. Last one we opened up, it was a $10 card? Yeah, $10 card. What was this? Team Rockets. Team Rockets. Mewtwo. 281. Is it here? Nope. Do we see a 281? There it is, 281. So that card itself right now is a $377 card. So if I were to list it right now, $377, it's on a dip. So at one point, this was $460. The Pokemon market is crashing. A lot of them are coming down pullback style. So its lows was 280, and then it shot up to almost $500, and then now it's at 377. That's a dip buy, ladies and gents. Let's see. What time does the stream start? Right now. Jimmy did say stop. We're good on green. We should have, but we didn't. Take Profit Friday. Hey, that's what it could be. Tomorrow's Thursday. Green. Take Profit Friday. Looking at the charts right here, this is just a giant bull flag. When we push up like this, we pull over or we pull back, and that's it. Even if you're in my group, right? Sales pitch, Patreon, do that. Do all the cool things. We buy all the stuff. Obviously, I buy low and I sell high, and you'll be rich. I can't say that. I can't even joke and say that. Hypothetically speaking, there's no way you're in my group and losing money. Well, you got to be paying attention. There's a caveat there. You can't just join my group and keep doing what you're doing. That's not gonna change. But even yesterday, I said I waited all day for a dip buy, and I was like, "Is this it? This is all we're gonna get? That's it. It's time to buy the dip." And that really was it. If you're a futures trader, I guess you could probably hang on to this. Kind of kind of have that going on. So we have higher lows, you have lower highs. This is a 4-hour time frame. We can go into hourly if you want. You know, one of these lines is probably going to break tomorrow. It'll be this one. But this is a yellow zone, just to be clear. So we're kind of hanging out. I think we're just going to exhaust all the sellers and then send it. The curious part is right here. So do we have a lot of sellers hanging out right here? Is this where it's at? Or is it going to be something more up here? Because we have this wick right here. So we jumped up. Our first sign of sellers were kind of right there. Actually, all of them were right here. So we jumped up. We sold off. We tried it again. Ooh, that's actually going to be the zone for now. I guess there you have it. So looking at the hourly, if we just were to grab the peak, I'm going to leave this blue for now because I just don't like – blue is a speed bump zone. Yellow is a 4-hour daily zone. And we just don't really have a lot. We literally just have technically a wick. But then above that, we're just in no man's land. We're at all-time highs. I would be long. As far as your expected moves go, we're just dead center. Looking at the NASDAQ, I think the NASDAQ's kind of heating up. As far as flow goes, I saw a lot on Meta and Tesla, actually, which are my top two positions. Which Meta, I think there's another lawsuit someone said in the chat. Something. So I was reading the comments. Take that for what you will. I'm long on both, but it looks like, so from what I've seen this past week, just far as like inflows coming in and options getting bought, it kind of looks like buying up a lot of the big names in tech. So at that point, and if you guys don't know how like prices move on things, like right here isn't actually just a lot of buyers, it's actually just no sellers. So if we were to keep the same amount of buying and just kind of run out of sellers, then you get a massive move on tech. You got the people that are just drawing lines thinking that's moving trillions. Then they're thinking, oh, here comes a higher low. That is technically the buyers getting their friends. There is some truth to that, but when you think of who your buyers and who your sellers are, you have the people watching the flow, the tape. You got people watching just price action right here. You got people just playing the trend. There's probably a lot more buyers than there are sellers right now. There she is. She says, I was here, peace, except for she didn't have to say she was here. She just came in and said, peace. What's happening? Options. Say I want to make $1,000 in a week selling put options. Would you sell one put for $1,000 or two puts for $500? Thank you. I don't think I would actually care. I don't think that's the right question to ask. Because I could go out right now and find both of those scenarios, and then tomorrow I could find both those scenarios, but opposite. I could find a good stock to sell a put on and collect $1,000, and I could find a crap one and sell two for $500. There's a lot of variables that go into that. One, if I'm going to sell a put and get paid $1,000, I could do it on an expensive stock. I could do it right now, far out of the money on SanDisk or Micron. I'm gonna put up some capital for it, percentage-wise. $1,000 won't be anything for what I put up. But let's just say this: if it's liquid enough, let's say it's the same ticker. There's actually a lot of ways to do this, and I wish there was more to break down into this, because there's lessons to go over into this. I try to think about how to say things so I could use it later as a short. Same stock. I was just getting ready to say, same stock, I would sell the two for $500. Because if I don't want the shares, what you're likely to sell is a 2022 Delta, on MU, right, or SanDisk. And then you sell the out of the money, you collect $1,000. You bump that strike down even further, Delta, less of a chance of assignment. Now you're going to have to put up twice the capital, so you're playing the numbers game from one bucket to the next. But I think I would rather I would need to want the stock, because what you're going to do is you're going to sell it further out of the money contract, and you're going to end up buying 200 shares. And you always got to base everything off worst case scenario. So you're gonna when you sell a put, you're playing the numbers game. There's an 80% chance I'm just not gonna get assigned. 8 out of 10 trades not gonna get assigned. I'm just gonna collect the free money and I'm gonna do it again next week. Sometimes even a few times in 1 week. But you still got to plan for that the 20 out of 100 times where you do get assigned. And if I don't like that particular ticker, do I want 200 shares of that? Or would I rather put up the risk, collect the same amount, and just be obligated to buy 100 shares? Let's say it's Meta, a ticker that I like. I could go. I wouldn't mind buying Meta. So at that point, I would just sell the 2. I get that's borderline going to be personal preference at this point, because do I want 100 shares or 200 shares? I'll get paid the same for 200 shares. So what you're going to do is you're going to move the chances of getting assigned down, but you're going to amp the risk for the same amount because you're technically risking 200 shares instead of 100 shares. I would only do this on a stock that I want to own. Then, do you want to own 200 shares? I guess that's the next question. If I wouldn't mind buying 200 shares, gosh, what's the trade-off? Because what if I just want to buy 100 shares? On MU next week, sell 1,890 put, collected almost 1,100, 27 delta, or 2. Okay. Oh, hey, so here, let's just, I like this question. Okay, so right now on MU, thank you, James, for bringing this up. So right now, I can sell this, what do we got? MU next week for 890. So I can sell an 890 strike. Now I'm going to put up, 89 grand? Yeah, because it's times 100. So 89,000 is what I'm going to lock up. So I'm going to sell that put. Now, if MU stays sideways or up, or even comes down to just here and up, as long as it's there and up, I keep the $1,070. That's it. So what? Okay, so we're good. Or I can sell 2 of the 870s. Now, this is where I would probably rather sell 1, because if you're looking at this, what is it? This key? There we go. Okay, so here's. Okay, can you guys see that that's 2 lines right here? Now, in this particular situation, I would rather sell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up 200 shares versus 100 shares right here. One's going to collect $1,000, 1,070, and the other one's going to collect what's that? 1110, 500, 500. 100. Yeah, okay, so 1110. So literally a couple dollars more, but I'm going to put up 180 grand as far as shares go to collect the same. And in this particular instance, because you'd have to go case by case with every one of these. Right now, if I get assigned MU at 8, you're in my group, and you're like, hey, what do I do? My average cost is 890. And then the next person's like, well, what should I do? My average cost is 870. I'm going to answer you both the same, because right now on a $900 product, being $20 off doesn't mean jack. You're in the same boat. Like, you're on the Titanic, and you're both probably going to get on the same lifeboat. One probably just got it. There's probably like one person in between you guys, as far as like that scenario goes. So I would rather just probably collect the same and just get the $1,000 here and risk less. Now, the time that's going to get probably a little bit different is, let's say it's something like this. Let's say it happens to fall like this. These are the expected moves that we draw every Sunday. Now, premium's going to drop off a map. As soon as you cross this line, you'll see the premium take a hit. Just the numbers just aren't in your favor. Like, if you're buying a put right here, numbers just are not in your favor. Yeah, you could win. You can win a slot machine. You can win a scratch off. Most of the time, you're just not going to go in. Okay, if you're talking about buying puts, outside these levels, you're going to sound like the guy that has a system at a casino. You know, like, I buy every third scratcher's ticket from this gas station because that's the winner most of the time. You know, there's always like a disclaimer right after it where they tell you you're probably going to lose. But so this case right here, I stand a lot more of a chance of getting assigned right here versus right here. Because here's market makers getting involved. Here's just regular institutions. So this changes the numbers a little bit, but it doesn't negate the fact that I'm putting up 200 shares versus 100. So if we go worst case scenario, we're in a market meltdown. You know, by the time you get assigned, you know, the real question is, this is what gets everybody. You know, oh, I wouldn't mind buying this at 800, whatever. Everybody thinks that, so they sell an 800 put on MU. But then MU has a $200 day, and now we're sitting at, we'll call it this zone right here, $200 day, because it's had them before plenty of times. Let's say it does this. Here's your one day right here. We go screaming from here to here. Now you get assigned. Now your average cost is, you know, 724, but you have 200 shares instead of 100. So it amps things up, and actually, you know, maybe working this as much as we've done out loud, I don't know if there's a scenario where you probably would want to sell 2. Because I'd rather bump the deltas a little bit and just put up 100 shares instead of 200. Maybe there's another scenario, but still, I would attack every one of those with a case-by-case basis. Looking at the queues, yeah, nothing's happened this week. So I wonder if we saved all the fireworks for the end. Sometimes we just have absolutely boring weeks, and this is it. Friday's green, and it goes to, like, here. You know, tomorrow's nothing. Do we have anything tomorrow? Don't we have letters tomorrow? PPI, core PPI. So people that like to make headlines have an excuse to move some volume around. That'll be, hang on, what was that, 1 hour before? In 12 hours, 15 minutes. Yeah, so that's 1 hour before market open tomorrow. Why is that August 13th, 12:30? Oh, I need to probably refresh that. Okay, so let's just get the time clear before we mess this up. Come on. Oh, man. 1 hour is going to include everything? Jeez. All right, United States stuff. Yeah, 1 hour before market open. For some reason, it took all the filters off, so we have every country. So maybe tomorrow we get a quick little pop and do something. We could literally do nothing. We could just, we have a bunch of, if we're going to hit one of these numbers, not that we will. These are more like gates. We are free range chickens right now. We don't need to run to the fence. We could just do literally nothing. We could go screaming one way or the other. If anything, I just have a feeling it's going to be a bullish day just from the price action. I don't know if PPI is going to be enough to really move the market that much. Why we switch from selling to buying options? Are you talking about in my conversation when I said if you are buying? Because if it's not a good reason to buy, might be a good reason to sell. I think that's what you might be asking if I'm catching up in the chat. SpaceX premium is also jacked. Ooh, I wouldn't do SpaceX. I can. Everyone's got their long form videos about SpaceX. Long story short, I'll probably buy it at $50. Hang on, just real quick. SpaceX. Hey, look at that! Had a green earnings. Or I mean not a green earnings, green day. Here's your expected move for the week. And then see, so that's what I was talking about as far as like the S&P. I literally just said we're free range chickens. We don't have to run to the gate. Absolutely can. And it would just look like that. I don't care that SpaceX is up at all. I think there's still time. There's still time for SpaceX to let you down. It is a stock that I'm going to buy. I will be bullish on it later for the right price. Anyway, back to Grandpa Dow. The others look stronger. Like this looks like it's about to break to the downside. So I probably rather the NASDAQ right now. Russell looking good. Russell looks like it's about to break to the upside as soon as it runs out of sellers and then get the pop. You sold the 110 put on earnings weeks. Nice. I haven't traded. I short SpaceX stock. That was it. I don't think I haven't done any options or anything on it. Is somebody asking about Patreon? Casey saying if you signed up for Patreon, then you need to join the server from there. Make sure you're using the same login. Patreon and Discord. Yeah. I don't know if did I miss somebody asking that. If that is the case and you do join Patreon, go on there and just click join Discord. If you ever have a problem with Discord, you can literally just leave the server and then go back into Patreon and click join Discord from there. There's a bot that lets you in and out through that, which is why you have to do that. All right, let's jump into some tickers. Let's break some things down. SpaceX 40% move in a week. NVIS is a day. Yeah. We do got some things to break down tonight. A lot. ARKG, new higher zones, please. I don't like this. I don't like this. Gosh. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know why I don't like you requesting this. New higher zones. I haven't bought this yet. If I do, I don't remember, and it's not enough to move the needle. I can put it that way. But lately I've been talking about medical stuff. I think the next big blow up is going to be the medical space with the use of AI. I think that's going to come before like a general intelligence, something like that. And so what I talked about doing was, and the problem I have is it's going to be some nerd that doesn't have a girlfriend working at the office. I've even said this about AI. The computer's just going to talk back to him one day. But anyway, they're going to be running all their just loop. What do they call it? Loop prompts, where the computer it'll answer the question, check its work, and kind of just it keeps doing it until it finds out. So you're running all these simulations. And one day, again, the guy that just is alone on Valentine's Day working late at the office is going to find a cure to something, right? You can't just say a cure to cancer because there's so many different types of cancer, but they might just find something crazy. And, so whose lab does that? And should I just borrow from, Kathy Wood because this is her genomic ETF? So they have this stuff. Hopefully they have some insight that I didn't pay for it. Maybe they have. So, as far as do I just buy a whole span of extremely risky, because I think it's going to pay out like a winning scratcher's ticket. The one that does take off and get that one thing, probably going to absolutely send it. The rest may play catch up. But I think this space is going to be huge. And I was talking about that. Oh, yeah, it looks like my last trade was here. Bought it and tagged out right there. If you guys do follow me, so I post what I'm buying and selling. You get the notification right when I do it. Today I bought SoFi. It was like $18.20. Tomorrow I can tell you right now you're going to get a notification on this. I don't like that it's already gone up this much without me. This will be a longer term hold. And that is just because I am pretty bullish on the space. But here's the thing. Careful how much you buy of this, because I'm thinking this pops off in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Like maybe he's got an AI girlfriend and he's not working late at the office. Like who knows the timing of the medical space. I just think by the time it shows up, you're either already on that train or you missed it. It'd be way too risky to enter later. These zones lined up perfectly. So put this on the back burner. Not a hot dog on the back burner. We're talking brats. I've never used that reference before. Hopefully it makes sense to everybody. Brats are bigger than hot dogs. Brat size on the back burner. Kind of casting. I've mentioned this before, like an AI net. Let me just get a little bit in everything until I've done some more research and can really dial it in. Maybe it doesn't just happen overnight. Maybe there's some warning signs that we get a heads up, and then we can just go heavyweight into that one. But for now, I think ArcG is probably one of the better bets. Kathy Wood sucks. I'm not gonna say she sucks. She's blown a lot of accounts. So good for her that this one's not blown yet. With the media went nuts over her because she called out Tesla to a crazy amount, and then Tesla went up, and all of a sudden she was the next best thing. But if you looked at her history, it just not the best. But the things she buys kind of puts her in that position to just be the table scraps. That's what she. Hate to reference the stock she buys as table scraps, but she buys a lot of the things that are probably going to amount to nothing, but the ones that do take off are going to make the S&P look like garbage. But I got to say, it's not just Kathy Wood. There's a team that are specifically for this. They just need to not be that worthless. If your only job is to look up companies and that's it, in that space, in that sector, please don't suck. That's all you got to do. It's just not suck. Hopefully they can get that figured out. Tempest AI. So maybe if Tempest AI comes back down to this zone, you can long it, put your stop at 49.45. Probably is going to need to get above that 58.59 to do anything. Really bullish once it gets above that yellow zone. Had this for 3 years and sold at a loss? Oh, no. She needs to call out Tesla again. I'm telling you right now, I'm buying ArcG. And that's been my plan for a while. If you've been on this YouTube channel, then that's nothing new for you. You probably just heard me say all the same thing over and over again and curious, why are you repeating yourself? That's because there's 5 people here tonight. How many likes do we have? It just says stream is healthy. Feeling kind of healthy myself. 17 likes? There might be a new YouTube rule. The not financial advice I give might be a direct correlation to how many likes I have. At 17 likes, I'm about to tell you Peloton's a good company to buy. Think about that for a little bit. If you're here, maybe you hit the thumbs up button, and maybe I'll tell you the truth about Peloton and why maybe I bought SoFi and ArcG. Just saying. All right, so we got nothing but sellers right up here. So we ran into that, based out, sent it. That's pretty cool. New zones for HPE. Does that not just sound like an STD? How was your night last night? I got HPE. 2 weeks of penicillin. Is that right? Is that what you need? Penicillin's the one out of mold, right? That cures everything. By HMNY. Why are these guys going up? Are they like Kodak? Are they going to get in the vaccine business? Or did they already? They start printing money, I guess. Someone's there like, listen, we keep making these printers, but hear me out. What if we kept a pallet and we started printing our own money? CEO's like, well, we can't disclose that on earnings calls, but we can put it somewhere. Server play? Okay, so this is kind of more like Dell. I think I remember having this conversation a while back. about it being. I think I was comparing this to Dell. Okay. I don't know how I feel about server plays. Maybe the in the now purchases as a trader. That's mostly your portfolio anyway. In that case, I would keep it on the technicals. Yeah, so I guess if I'm going long, my stop would be 52.45. If that breaks, I'd probably have to just move on. Core Weavy sold a 113 for this Friday. You're pushing it. 2 standard deviations puts you right at like 117, 118. So you need to rein it back in play on that one. Overnight is down, so things are looking good. You sold a 113 for Friday. If tomorrow was red, let's say tomorrow's, we've seen a lot of times where we think we're reining it back in, it kind of gets here, and then Friday, everybody loses their minds. And then if that was up tomorrow, for me personally, I would close it. Is DRAM ETF a bad play? No, if you want access to it's a memory ETF, so if you want access to like Samsung, that's not on the U.S. market. I think it's one of the only plays you can do to get that. I don't think it's a bad one. Forgot to update these lines. All right. Hood. How do I feel about this? I think I kind of like it. Overall, it looks like we're kind of inching up a little bit. We're making these higher lows. Maybe we get a little carried away and we kind of rein it back in. I think I'd be bullish. This is a pretty good one if you're one to sell calls or sell puts. The premium on Hood for like an income play isn't bad at all. What would have me nervous is honestly if it breaks this zone right here. If it breaks this zone, I do think we're probably going to at least test this one down here. Breaking this is where I would leave. If it gets below 60, I'd have to leave it alone. HIMS. Oh, this is my ticker right now. Because peptides. Just kidding. I was trying to think of something real sarcastic to say about peptides, but I'm fresh out. I know HIMS was. I checked it earlier. It was like down, then right back up. Yes, hit that zone down. The premium on HIMS absolutely nuts. Like I had sold next week's 33 and 34 calls for 120 and I think 102 for the 33. So a $30 ticker paying you $100 per contract was awesome. Now, the volatility is what pays that. I don't mind if it does come down. I've had HIMS up, down. I bought a lot at 14 and 16, so I'm in a good spot to handle that volatility. But strictly running the wheel, selling puts and calls until you get a sign, then flipping it. I don't know. I do still really like Hood. Or not Hood, HIMS. I think the easy money stops at $40, though. Nice for long and short scalps all day. Hood or HIMS? Because probably both, but HIMS has a little extra spice with it. That makes it nice. CBRS. Oh, get wrecked. Looks like we need to draw out a zone right there. It's kind of a speed bump zone right here. So if I'm going to buy the dip on this, I wouldn't short it now after this. I would go long. My stop would be 206.85. HIMS? Okay. I thought you were HIMS with me. Yeah. I'm trying not to get everybody too hyped up over HIMS, but it just kind of seems like there's just money in all the buckets on HIMS right now. IPO'd in May and sold off pretty quick. No zones, but from my view, it's in a zone now. Yeah, I'd say so. Do you see any supply and demand zones? They're down 16% after earnings today. Yeah. You could wait for the dust to settle and see if there's like a continuation, or catch that knife, but I would have to keep it probably pretty tight. Hang on. Let the market makers know where things can go. Yeah, I wouldn't just start rocking this thing all the way down. It's either got a trend line play and it's going to go up or not. We do MU just hopping in. Thanks, Don. Memory stocks look good. Right now, or literally on MU is next. Bought shares at 880. Where would you put your stop? My question is, where did you put your stop before you clicked the buy button? How do you know how much to buy if you don't know where your stop's going to be at? Where's your stop? I tried 2 candles back or at the bottom of the zone, but recently I've been getting my stops tagged, and then the stock runs. Yeah, if there's a lot of volatility, yeah, you're asking for it on that one. Not sure if I'm doing a good play or just unfortunate, or if this is an execution issue. More than likely, if you're going 2 candles, do I say 2 candles back or 3 candles? So there's the live candle and then 1, 2. Like, so technically 3 on the chart. Just, I mean, you should be right. You've been around long enough to know. More than likely, the 2 candles back is fine unless you're doing it on a 5-minute. Like, it scales. Takes a lot longer to tag out when it's a 4-hour candle versus a 5-minute. Sometimes the market just sucks. It does it all the time. The volatility is going to make it move, and definitely just dance all around. I would need a little bit more specifics to know if your stop is too tight, because that really is an art as far as having your stop in the right place. Because there's where you're putting in too tight, you're just going to tag out. There's the right space where you're doing good. If it hits that, it's probably best that you stopped out. And then there's the I'm just going to move it down for whatever reason you came up with in your head. But all you really did was it just takes you a little bit longer to tag out. Like, it's still happening. But it takes some fine tuning. That's where I got my 85 cents and 45 cents from, is just that over the years. But I genuinely want to know how much are you buying, because right now, if I'm buying at 880 and my stop is right here, 840, that's $40 a share. So if I only want to risk $80, I can only afford to buy 2 shares. Okay, whether I have a $10 million account or enough to buy 2 shares. That's it. How do you know how much you're risking if you don't have your stop in place? Because you've asked me this before, and a couple people in my chat have asked me, hey, where would you stop out at? How much do you have? How much do you have, and how much do you want to risk? Because if it's $1,000, how many shares did you buy? Because if I wanted to risk $1,000, I could buy 1 share and never look back. If I only want to risk $450, now I got to set my stop loss down here at $450. So if you're in at 880 and this is a trailing situation, and you just kind of want to lock in profits, so here's the live candle, here's 1, 2, here's this candle, and it's below a zone. But if you just look right here, we're right below this. So you'd go 907.45, and then just kind of look where let's just draw a line real quick. Say your stop is right there. Look how many times dropped down, tagged out, ran, tagged out, still ran. Would have tagged you out, went right back up. So you can look. So you start here. That's 2 candles back. But if it's a zone play, you probably want to look across. And if I just put my stop right here, let's go right there at the end of. I go to this wick and then I fudge it a bit. That is my literal. That's how I do it. Go to the line, fudge it. Best I could tell you, because we went here, bounced, got close, bounced. Every time we got down here, bounced back up. So if my stop tags out right here at 901.85, I know it's a new low compared to all these other times, and I'm not worried. That's when I want to tag out. Please get above this brick wall. Yeah, no kidding. It kind of looks like it's about to. I think things are pretty bullish. But MU and SanDisk both had an incredible hype cycle, and they needed to chill out. And so it kind of looks good. It kind of looks like we might have chilled out right now. So if we can just start getting above this, we might start to work our way back up. It would be ideal if we didn't just go on a massive hype cycle. I know it's what a lot of people think. Makes things a lot harder. The money's made quicker. But if you want to just hold on for the longer run, it's a lot easier when we're just kind of just going with the flow and not just holding on for dear life no matter what we're doing. All right, Meta getting sued, going through litigation. Also, Zuck sucks at testifying. Kind of looks like a dip buy. Listen, every time Meta's been in court, I buy. Now, I did sell a $5.95 put, so I'm going to get assigned those shares. Unless it just miraculously bounces. But I noticed anytime Meta's below 600, it's just kind of been a time to buy. And I've had a good amount of Meta for a long time. So this is recent. Well, if you were in my group, we had this conversation last night, Monday. So anyway, that's why I said I'm selling an at the money put. Now I'm going to let Jesus take the wheel. I'm either getting more shares or I'm not. So it looks like I'm going to get some free money and some more shares. Still to this day, one of the best court cases to watch was when Zuck was getting sued. And his reply after hearing about how much he's going to get sued for or something like that was how much the fine was, oh no, how will I keep the lights on? I find that absolutely hilarious. It kind of looks like a buy the dip. What that means is we're getting sued. There's going to be headlines and a little extra spice. Because anytime a headline comes out and an algo's just reading keywords, you'll probably get some action off of that. I definitely do select Meta. They're kind of they're taking a new charge with this this AI stuff. They want you to have, Zuck thinks everyone should have their own AI assistant. It's open weight, not open source. So there's a difference there. I kind of like where it's going because I think that will be that could actually be pretty huge later. Tesla long 100 shares. I think you're doing. When did you? Let's see. Long 100 shares my Roth. I don't mind holding, but I have an average of 430 per share. So do you mind holding or not? Thinking of adding to bring down the average. Is this a hammer on glass to the downside? No. No. So anytime if you're new here, you're watching my stream, and you hear me mention a hammer on glass. The glass pane is the horizontal, and then you got here's the hammer, right? So coming down, you're just gonna hammer it, and by the time we get here, you're gonna find out right now if that's glass, like if that bulletproof glass and the hammer breaks. More often than not, it's this that breaks. So you see it kind of bounce, and finally break through, and then same to the upside. So you'd see higher lows with the same resistance spot, and then we finally run out of sellers, and it sends it. So I don't really see why we would be having that conversation right now with Tesla to the downside. If anything, that'd be more like just a bear flag. Bullish if it gets above this 342 zone. But to answer your question, no, I wouldn't. Your reasoning's all wrong. Thinking of adding to bring down the average, the only thing you're going to do is bring up your average loser. Because you got to think, you got 100 shares headed south right now. You think you're going to bring your average down by adding 200 shares. The only thing you're going to do is average up that loser by having 200 shares go south now. Wait for it to reverse. Who cares if you buy more shares at 350 versus 320? Okay, you got it above a zone. Maybe it's starting to look like it's headed up. That's the better time to buy. I'd rather spend more on something trending up than just less and just watch my loser get bigger. Are you mad your P&L doesn't look that big? Like to the downside? Any Tesla thoughts? I won't. And you know what I really want? The Model Y that I ordered, or my Roadster, would be pretty sweet. Sure would be sweet if Elon would just make the cars that I ordered. Just saying. Right now, I don't know if this is a dip buy or what. So earnings kind of brought it down, right? And then we bounced up. We're hitting that zone from the downside. The only thing that's conflicting with this right now is the amount of just inflows I'm seeing, like options chain wise. A lot of people buying up calls, but they don't have to be right. And they could just be buying up calls because they're short shares, a tremendous amount. So they want that protection to the upside if it does send it. Right now, as far as technicals go, it looks like it's still coming down. And if you want to bring your average down, you know what really helps you bring your average down? When you buy shares a lot cheaper. Buy it at 200 and watch how much your average comes down. Shop sent it on earnings, let the dust settle, and still climbed. Gosh, I guess, if I'm jumping on the train late, 145.35 would be my stop. This ticker has always gone against me, but looks like a bull flag. I'd have to be bullish. Let's see. You have to buy 300 shares at a lower price in order to get your 100 shares to a better average. 300 more. Yeah, actually, if you buy another 100, you're just going to chop it in half. But I don't care what my average price is at all. Not in those regards. I care about how much. Like if I want something sliding down a hill against me, I want it to be the little cheap, lightweight plastic sled. Let that trash go. Sure. No way I want to just send a car rolling down a hill. FTNT, I can already tell you I do like it. This and Palo Alto. I almost bought Palo Alto today, but somebody called me. 100%. So same sector. Without that phone call, I would have bought it. Pan W. So we bounced there. We got nothing but sellers there. There's something going on right there. Okay. Flirting with all-time highs. Think it can go higher and go long. Yes. I don't mean to. I'm not laughing at you. So it's flirting with all-time highs. Do I think it can go higher? The answer is always yes to that question, and infinitely actually. It can just never come down. Not likely, but yeah. So the question is, do I think it can go lower? Now that always has an answer because this can only go down $160. But how high can it go? There is no ceiling. And this is a sector that I like. I would be long this particular one. There is help me out, chat. There is a cybersecurity ETF that we literally just broke this down. Fortinet and PanW are one of the top holders. Also, no hype at all, just status quo. Hang on. If you don't want to buy an individual ticker, the cybersecurity ETF. Somebody called out last night, Monday. I know the chat's about to just answer me on this. And we'll have it for you. So I'll move on to the next ticker, but I still do like this space for sure. All right, NBIS pulling back. That's all you're gonna get. Grab on any pullbacks or let it chill. Suck it, Burry. Is Burry short this? Yeah. Yeah, man, if it could just get down to this 230 mark, I would. I'd even entertain selling a 230 put. If I was going to buy 100 shares, then I might as well just sell the 230 put regardless. And at least either get some money or get my shares. But a pullback to there would be a dream. If we just had a chop day, maybe I wait till Monday. Wait till it looks like the S&P where it's just gone sideways for like a little bit, and then I buy. If it rides the rest of this week out and kind of stays up there, yeah, maybe I grab a little, but knowing I'm going to grab more later. AVGO, make it great again. I'll try. I'll call some market makers, see what we can do. That's going to need some work. That looks like it's probably about to come on down. I'm going to put my alert right there. That's where I'm going to grab more. I do own Broadcom, and if it gets that alert, actually, when that alert goes off, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to sell a 400 strike put. Just straight at the money. Google, time to load the boat. Wait, okay. God, I really want to say the time to load the boat was when I told you guys to at 150. Just because we're on YouTube and they probably should have listened. I gotta say, I do like it right here. I don't know if we're loading the boat or the boat's on the ramp. There's a reference there, and it belongs. Loading the boat is a loaded question because, one, how much Google do you already have? If I didn't have Google, the answer is yes. If I did, how much more am I squeezing in? Cisco. Oh my gosh. Look at that wick. Now, someone in my chat did say the market makers like to draw on wicks. The candles that don't have wicks, they got to go put one in. So if you look at this, like this candle doesn't have a wick, markets put one in. And they put one in for all the candles. All of them. Just in this one candle right here. NBIS, 230 puts are $1,200. Oh, wow. As far as this one goes, though. There's some. Hang on. I got to get the obvious zones first because that, right where we're at, I don't know. We know. Never mind, I do know. There's the indecisive candle right there. Right side there and there. And then right there. Thought this was going to be much more of a pain to chart out. Okay, overnight, we're way down here. Well, we already filled that gap. Maybe they just want to double seal it, Vacuum seal that gap. Something I can think of. We didn't fill this. So we filled this gap, but we didn't fill this gap. So maybe we're double checking our work. It's going to come on down a little bit further. I couldn't wait to take profit on that. If I'm catching a knife, I guess this 113 area, I'd have to stop at 112.85 though. Reported earnings and looks like a mixed bag. You and I think of a mixed bag as very, very different. Stock was up almost 3%, but then down 4% after hours. Yeah, what they mixed was concrete in that bag. Real quick, if you're here, let me know in the chat. I just want to say what's up. I was just catching up on the chat. Oh, right at the 59-minute mark. We're about to have a 1 hour stream. We got one ticker left. We're going to do it in 1 minute. We already went over it. We're closing this thing down right at an hour. NBIS may be the 230 mark. Yeah, right there at that zone. Who taught you that? Where are you getting these weird ideas from? Look at this guy paying attention. His call out was literally, his reply to a call out was what I just said earlier, but before I said it. So maybe I'm just reading his replies. You'll never know. You'll have to join the group. I still think selling a 230 put on NBIS probably not bad. Probably not a bad play. Let's see what these futures are doing. It's perfect because my dogs are going nuts. It's a high-pitched bark, so somebody else has their dog out. Anybody else have a German Shepherd? They get this high-pitched, squeaky bark anytime there's like another dog or like somebody they have to play with. It's happening. Royal Purple. I know I've asked this before. Is that the oil you put in your engine? Racing oil? I love my yellow boxes. Yeah, they do work out. Christian, is that you? Ham and cheese? Went from making cars to robots, I think. Must be talking about my Elon comment. I said it'd be really cool if he made my cars. No with a lot of O's. So it's not Royal Purple race oil. I feel like I should. The amount of O's in that no, I feel like I should know what Royal Purple means now. Royal Purple 87. It sounds like my friend Born 87 puts Royal Purple in like all his engines because he thinks he's gonna break the sound barrier, and nothing he drives ever will. They're not fast. It's crazy, but it's got to have it. He must have read it in like a streetcars magazine and never looked back. Okay, I thought you were Mary because the profile picture. I think it says Mary when I read your comments. Mary's going to be a professional trader if she's not already. Watches all the videos, and I know because there's a comment on literally every video after she said, I'm going to comment on every video after I watch it. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to wrap it up here. Pokemon cards did say the marker was going to be green. Got a bull flag on the S&P. The only worrisome part is the shiny red card we got after. So maybe tomorrow's green from PPI. Shiny red take profit Friday. Either way, I'll probably just be, if it's red, I'll be red because I think I'm just going to buy the dip. We've been sideways long enough. So I have been buying things up the past couple of days. I haven't taken an SPX play. If we were to get a real dip on PPI, I probably would. I'd buy an SPX call. But I don't think I would short the market right now. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. I will see you beautiful people. Well, you'll see me on my wealth video for Friday. Maybe it comes out Saturday. If not, Sunday, 1 hour after futures open. I'll see you guys then.